Topic: 2D, two-dimensional, and 3D, three-dimensional, drawings. Working drawings. Two-dimensional drawing of one face of an object using conventions, dark lines, faint lines, dashed lines, dimensions, scale. 3D oblique, front view with depth at 45 degrees, use squared quadrant paper. Oblique projection used to assist with interpretation and with drawing single VP perspective. 2D, two-dimensional, and 3D, three-dimensional, drawings. It is important to understand the difference between 2D and 3D drawings. Two-dimensional only shows two dimensions of an object, length and breadth, or height. Three-dimensional drawings are drawings with three dimensions, length, breadth, or height, and depth. Working drawings. 2D. A working drawing is a drawing of something that you want to make or build. If you give it to someone, they should be able to understand it and manufacture it. It contains all the necessary information to produce the product. An example would be, and a house plan drawn by an architect. A working drawing is not a freehand sketch. You must follow the rules called drawing conventions. You have already learned about conventions in the previous lesson. Working drawings can contain the following information: a size, dimensions, and shape of the product, materials it must be made of, how the parts fit together. We will focus on 2D working drawings and will only draw one face of an object. Look at the 3D picture of the cupboard below. The different views are indicated on the drawing. If you stand in front of the cupboard, you will see one face. You will only see the height and length, but you will not see the width or depth. You will see a flat 2D front view of the front of the cupboard. The drawing is a 2D working drawing of the front view of the cupboard on the left. It shows two dimensions, the height 1,200 millimeters and the length 900 millimeters. These are the real dimensions of the object, but drawn smaller, scaled down. Take note the drawing conventions used to draw the working drawing. Activity 1. Copy the working drawing of the cupboard, figure B, in the space below. Draw dashed lines on the drawing to show 4 shelves inside, hidden detail. Don't worry about drawing it to scale. Fit it into the space below. This is not a freehand drawing. Use a ruler and pencil. Activity 2. Draw a front view of a cell phone in the space below. It must be drawn to scale 1:2. That means half the size of real phone. Your teacher can give you the real measurements of her phone. Indicate the length and width of the phone by making use of dimensioning, only 2 dimensions. Use a pencil and ruler. Oblique drawings, 3D. An oblique drawing is a simple way of drawing a 3-dimensional object. It is drawn with the front view directly, facing the observer, showing the true shape. The other faces are drawn at a 45 degrees angle. This shows the depth of the object and creates 3D effect. How to draw a 3D oblique drawing of a cube. We will use squared, quadrant, paper/grid paper to draw on. The squares will allow us to draw diagonal lines at a 45 degrees angle. Height, length, front view, true shape, 2-dimensional, 45 degrees. Height, depth, length, front view, true shape, 3-dimensional drawing of cube. How to draw a 3D oblique drawing of a cube. We will use squared, quadrant, paper/grid paper to draw on. The squares will allow us to draw diagonal lines at a 45 degrees angle. Step 1. Draw the front view of the cube, as if you are looking at it from the front. Step 2. Draw diagonal lines from the 3 corners of the cube. These lines are at an angle of 45 degrees. They must all be the same length. Step 3. Draw in the vertical and horizontal lines to complete the cube. Take note that These lines are parallel to the lines on the front view. Activity 3. Redraw the oblique drawing on the grid paper. Count the blocks to determine the size. Scale up. Use a pencil and ruler. Challenge yourself. Try to draw in the hidden detail. Activity 4. The image below shows the front view of 3 steps. Copy the drawing on the grid paper and create an oblique drawing. Decide on your own measurements and the depth of the steps. Plan carefully to ensure your drawing fits into the space provided. Use the whole space. Use a pencil and ruler.